If I have to,
But it
if
wasn't
I have
just a
to
meme,
create stories so that the American media actually pays attention to the suffering of the American people, then that's what I'm going to do, Dana, because you guys are completely letting Kamala Harris coast. You had one interview with her. You talk about pushing back against me, Dana. You didn't push back against the fact that she cast the deciding vote on the Inflation Reduction Act, which is why a lot of Americans can't afford food and housing.
You just said that you're creating a story.
In a stunning moment of candor, Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance actually admitted to fabricating stories to garner media attention during a heated interview with CNN's Dana Bash. This admission set the stage for a tense exchange that would expose the dangers of political misinformation and the importance of journalistic integrity. The interview began with Bash confronting Vance about his controversial statements regarding Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio.
Now is Republican Vice Presidential nominee J.D. Vance, who represents Ohio in the U.S. Senate. Thank you for being here, sir. So the mayor of Springfield, Ohio, Rob Rue, said, quote, all these federal politicians that have negatively spun our city, they need to know they're hurting our city, and it was their words that did it. Before Donald Trump talked about eating dogs and cats on a debate stage, it was you, Senator, who first elevated this baseless rumor. These are your constituents. So why are you putting them at risk by continuing to spread claims about Haitian immigrants, despite officials in your state saying that there's no evidence and pleading for you to stop?
Vance attempted to defend his position by claiming he was merely voicing the concerns of his constituents.
Well, Dana, first of all, what's putting the residents of Springfield at risk, which was a town completely ignored by the American media until Donald Trump and I started surfacing some of these concerns, is that they can't afford housing, they can't afford health care. The schools have been overwhelmed, the hospitals have been overwhelmed, and they're overwhelmed because Kamala Harris allowed 20,000 Haitian migrants to get dropped into a small Ohio town of about 40,000 people, and it's completely overwhelmed the services. Now, you ask, why have I talked about some of the things that I've been talking about?
However, when pressed for evidence, Vance's argument began to crumble.
Senator, I have to go through several things that you just said. First of all, the Clark County Sheriff and the Ohio Department of Natural Resources reviewed 11 months of 911 calls. They only identified 2 instances of people alleging Haitians were taking geese out of parks. They found 0 evidence to substantiate those claims. Also, other evidence that you have talked about, even you've retweeted alleged evidence, are unsourced social media videos from a different city, apparently no connection to Haitians. And this is from a conservative activist who offered a $5,000 reward for such things.
As the interview progressed, Bash brought in perspectives from local officials that directly contradicted Vance's claims. Springfield Mayor Rob Rue stated,
do you have any confirmed reports of Haitian migrants eating dogs and cats in Springfield?
We do not. And I think you highlighted earlier on one of your interviews that, the Sheriff's Department did go back through the last 11 months, and we just have no verifiable claim that this has actually happened. We've had a complaint, it was looked into, and then we couldn't call back or reach the person that made the complaint.
Faced with mounting evidence against his claims, Vance made the shocking admission that he was willing to create stories to draw attention to his political agenda.
Sir, you just said that you're creating the story.
What's that, Dana?
You just said that this is a story that you created. So the eating dogs and cats thing is not accurate.
Dana, it comes from firsthand accounts from my constituents. I say that we're creating a story, meaning we're creating the American media focusing on it.
This admission led to a tense exchange about the responsibility of public officials in spreading information.
I didn't create 20,000 illegal migrants coming into Springfield thanks to Kamala Harris's policies. Her policies did that, but yes, we created the actual focus that allowed the American media to talk about this story and the suffering caused by Kamala Harris's policies.
Do you condemn the Proud Boys, even if it's just 12, even if it's just 1 marching in Springfield?
Dana, I condemn all white supremacists. I'm obviously not. I'm married to a non-white person. I don't like these people, but I think that we have to keep our focus not on 12 marchers going down the street, but on the fact that thousands of residents have had their lives destroyed by Kamala Harris's policy. I find this very unusual, Dana, that the American media is more interested in a bunch of losers marching down the street than they are in the fact that Kamala Harris has made these people's lives worse.
As the interview concluded, it was clear that Vance's credibility had been severely damaged. His willingness to create and spread unsubstantiated stories for political gain had been exposed, raising serious questions about his fitness for high office. This exchange between Dana Bash and J.D. Vance serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of political misinformation and the crucial role of journalism in holding public officials accountable. It underscores the importance of fact-checking and the potential consequences of spreading baseless rumors, even when done in the name of drawing attention to legitimate concerns. As the 2024 election approaches, voters will need to carefully consider the veracity of claims made by candidates and the potential impact of their words on communities across the nation.